What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, give this video a like. We got another tutorial coming at you today. It's going to be a kid's undercut with like braids on the top type style. So hopefully you get something out of this video, but I won't take up too much of your time with this intro, and let's get straight to the video.
Look, I just flipped the switch.
What's good, everybody? We're back in here with another tutorial. We got a kid's cut today. So what I have right here is the half guard. So instead of using the guard, no guard lever closed, we're just going to be doing a half guard. Then we're going to taper out the temple area and the nape area. When doing kids cuts, it's just easier to use that half guard. Reason being is that kids move a lot and the blade is very sharp when it's closed. So by utilizing those guards and utilizing that guard system, it leaves you less room for mistakes, less room for patching and everything like that. So it's just a lot easier just to use down to a half guard. So that's what we're doing, is going to be a half guard mid fade up to a 2 open near the bulk of the hair on the top. Now this is just a undercut style haircut. You can see the hair is braided on the top. So we got a little man bun going for my little man here. So after we made our first panel of hair to fade into with that one guard, we have the half guard on there and we're just lever playing. So I open the lever, slightly fade up, open the lever, slightly fade up until we have this area completely faded out and blended. Now right here I am rocking with the old school wall corded seniors. It's been a minute, but like I said in my last video, my JRLs, they're not working, so I had to send them back in. So right now we're just working with the old faithfuls. The wall seniors are always a classic clipper to use. They never let me down, and they just toss out blurry blends left and right. So that's what we're after here with this haircut, each and every haircut at that. Now after I get all this this panel of hair faded out, I go up to the 1.5 guard, because the last guard we used to create a section was the 1 guard. So we're just going up in our guard system to the 1.5 guard, lever closed, and then we're going to revert back to our 1 guard, open the lever, slightly fade up, and just start knocking at that line until we have it completely blended out. Shout out to Jerm Boomin for the beat. This beat goes super hard. But here we go. We're knocking that 1 guard, lever play out. And shout out to my little man for, you know, sitting there completely, you know, still for the duration of this haircut. It was like a 40 to 45 minute service. This is my son. He will be turning 2 in July. So he's been accustomed to sitting in the chair. So just shout out to him though for being a champ, being a trooper, and just allowing me to knock out this blurry fade on him. But right here towards the ridge, I have that 1.5 guard on, and we're just lever playing up into the bulk of the hair. And then I noticed that the hair wasn't blending and sitting the way I wanted it to. So after we lever play with that 1.5 guard, I do go all the way up to a 2 guard lever open just to get that hair completely knocked out towards the bulk of the hair that's braided. Now, not every kid is gonna sit there for 40 to 45 minutes, and I completely understand that, because I do have kids that other than my son that I cut. But that's a 2 guard right there, lever open, we're just getting the hair nice and even. But as I was saying, you know, when you're doing a kids cut, you want to be as quick and efficient as possible, because the attention span that you have for a kids cut is not going to be long at all. So you want to make sure that you are being as effective as you possibly can. And the best way to be effective is to have a system in place. Have a system of, you know, fading technique that you can count on. And that's the same system I use for every cut is what I use on my son. And I just you know, knock this out as quick as I possibly could. All while, you know, trying to put out a good quality cut for, you know, the YouTube channel as well. But as you can see on his front hairline, I did use the 1.5 guard with the grain to knock down a lot of that bulk before we edge it up. And then I'm edging up the nape area on the back end of his head, and I'm just scooping up to the edge up. You know, children have a lot of baby hair, a lot of peach fuzz, so that's what I'm really focusing on knocking out, and then we go ahead and edge up around the ear using our Babyliss Influencer Edition trimmers, the Lowe's cutted trimmers we have there. This is the trimmer with the DLC 2.0 blade, and I have not had any issues with this trimmer at all. This trimmer has been doing work. Got the 245 power clip attached to it, and we're just going in on this edge up here. Now after I do the edge up, I make a bald line because I'm going to taper out the nape area and also the temple area. So I'm creating a base point, a starting point for my fade, and then I use the Wall Seniors lever open, no guard, which is essentially your half guard. And after we do that, I close the lever and start fading up and knocking out this panel of hair. Now for my son's haircut, I am going to try to just make it to where the vertical bars are the most predominant thing you see, not so much the C cup, because edging up, you know, my son's C cup, it gets very difficult because he moves around a lot. So by creating a high taper on the side, I just leave room for the vertical bars and the front edge up. So with my son, you know, this is just a haircut that I'm chasing for him. You know, it's all going to depend on what, you know, clients you have come in the shop. You know, a lot of parents have different style haircuts that they want for their children. A lot of parents wouldn't pick a bald fade for their kid necessarily. So you want to just make sure that you're, you know, having a client consultation with parents, and you guys both come to an agreement on what you think is, you know, a safe haircut for their kid. What do you think? You got to give them your opinion. You know, you went to school for it. You know, you got the education behind it. You put the time in behind the chair. So at the end of the day, your opinion on the haircut does matter, but you want to make sure that you are communicating with the child's parents, because, you know, communication is crucial when it comes to a haircut. But as you can see here, as opposed from the right side to the left side, this haircut is looking nice, looking blurry. I put some hair spritz on there, some hairspray, holding spray, to lay down that front edge up so I can start knocking it out. Now with my edge ups, I always start from the center and work my way out, and just kind of connect the dots between the two lines that I create. And that's what we're doing here. And with an edge up, it is crucial that you do stand in front of your client to make sure you see what you're edging up, to see the levelness of the edge up in the front. I know people who will do one edge up on one side and do the other edge up on the other side, and then you're going to have an off-balance edge up. So make sure that you're getting in front of the client to see how level that edge up is. Now you can see here we're knocking out the vertical bars, knocking at that corner area, and my boy is sitting still. Now this is an extreme blessing because it does not always happen that way. You know, most kids would be crying, screaming, slobbering all over. You know, it's a chore to cut kids, but it's a blessing that I have the ability to be a barber, be my son's barbers at that, and just be able to hook them up and get them fresh. Shout out to my wife for coming in clutch with the YouTube Kids there though. Actually, I think that was Coco. Yeah, that's my son's favorite movie, Coco. So that's another thing, you know, make sure you're working with the parents, or the parents are working with you to try to get the best haircut they can. So, you know, make sure that, you know, they have a tablet or a phone or something that can preoccupy the child's time while they're getting the haircut. So right here I'm doing the razor edge up. I got a straight edge blade, got the super exposed cartridge, the 245 triple cartridge razor, and I'm just knocking out both ends. That boy locked in on that Netflix. Hey, but that Netflix is super clutch though. But right here, I did one side, I did the left side and the right side, and we made sure that we try to keep it as symmetrical as possible. And then after we do that, I'm just marrying both sides together, just bridging it together in the back. So we start with that half guard lever close, then we open up the lever, create a panel of hair to fade into, close the lever back up and start fading up, knocking at that line until we have it completely faded out. So you can see here my wife is holding the phone a little bit lower so he'll be able to look down, and I can knock out this back fade for him near the occipital bone. And this is just the same exact thing we did on the left side and the right side. You just you know, for my son, I kind of dropped the fade a little bit in the back, not too much, nothing drastic, just to work with that occipital bone he has in the back, just to make sure that we don't have too much of a shadow because of the dips in his head. And that's another thing that you will see with children, is that there's a lot of dips in their head because they're not you know, fully developed. You know, they're still children, so make sure you're paying attention to those little things, especially near the bottom of the neck. There happens to be a dip there always. So with that dip in the back, I always bring my client's shoulders back and tell them to look down, and that really helps out. Now once we knocked out that fade, I am going to bald taper this back area on the neck, just to get a cleaner presentation for the haircut. You can see the edge dip is looking crispy, haircut's looking blurry. You want to attack, you know, every kid's cut just like any cut. Have that system in place, knock out your steps, and everything will be smooth sailing. But I hope I could give y'all a little bit of information here, a little bit of nuggets for kids cuts. But that'll pretty much do it for the cut. I appreciate everybody for checking out this video. Let me know down in the comment section what y'all think of this haircut. But there's the cut right there. There's my little man, fresh with the man bun or the boy bun or whatever you want to call it. But like I said, once again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, give this video a like, and until next time, God bless.